What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Musu Gaming here, and today I'm back with another episode of a account coaching series featuring Buzzwole, who is the king of 3478. And those of you who actually have been following my account coaching series might be wondering, hey, I thought you already covered Buzzwole, who is the king of 3478. No, actually, this time we're reviewing his main account. So the one that we reviewed before, although that account was kind of crazy on its own, he had like 7.5 billion kill points on that account, as well as 7 full lineups with like full legendary equipments and whatnot. But this account right here is actually his rally and garrison main account. So he's actually doing rallies and garrisons with his account, and I gotta tell you, his account does look pretty good. He's rocking 19.2 billion kill points, and to be honest with you, I'm nowhere near where he is, and he has 72 million power. I'm assuming he's reserving some of his stuff for next Zenith of Power, as he does own a couple already. Now let's just go ahead and jump right to it. Let's see. His highest power was 120 million. He has 49 million, almost 50 million deads, which is good. And yeah, looks pretty awesome account, to be honest with you. And I said damn OP, my friend. But then again, he had a couple of requests when he was actually requesting this in terms of the problems that he actually had, was looking to get his answers from this particular account coaching. That is, number one, the problem was that he doesn't know where to put his legendary inscriptions. So we'll go ahead and go over a little bit of where I would suggest that he put his legendary inscriptions on. One from the shop, one from I forgot what they're called, but the mileage one that you get for a banner, right? So one for a scroll, one's for a banner. I'll just give him my suggestion on what to prioritize and whatnot. And then two, he has 7 marches, yet it feels too old and out of. I'm assuming that he meant to say out of meta, but he says out if meta. But okay, so out of meta, he has 900 gold heads, 800 gold heads, which is good. But he can get 200 more easy. Okay, that is very nice to know. He has about 1,000 that he can actually get very easily. And number 3 problem, he has, unlike his farm, which has 7 full sets of legendary, the main was forced to basically invest in this one main march, which is all understandable because he's the king of this kingdom, and I'm assuming he's rallying garrisoning for this, and he has like 5 different accounts that kind of has crazy field stuff, and then this account right here is actually for his main rally and garrison. And for archer stuff, he does have basically almost all of iconic 5. And because of that reason, same reason why my infantry equipment is not really that good, same reason for him, although his account does seem like it is a lot older. Yeah, it is a lot older account. But then again, yeah, he does need his suggestion, my suggestion on like what to focus on, because of the fact that he couldn't really fix all of his marches, given that he was working on some of them. So I'll go ahead and go over his gear and then provide my suggestion on how to optimize it 100%. So that's basically what I put in here. Okay, where to put my legendary inscriptions. Best 7 marches is basically the primary concern that he has. I'm going to actually answer this as much as I can. And best 7 marches that are up to date, which is I'm going to try to provide the short-term and long-term goal for his best 7 march lineup. Now, iconics on accessories versus full legendary and on non-main marches. So I'll go ahead and provide my suggestion. Just spoiler alert, I will actually provide my suggestion on actually iconic 5ing his main march, just because of the fact that he does have almost complete set already. Now, he does have 800 gold heads right now, and then I actually forgot to add that there's going to be 200 more extra that he can actually get access to. And then those that are not summoned, based on what I saw from his screenshot, or by Chu, he has basically enough to unlock him. Scipio Aemilianus, which he doesn't have fully unlocked. I don't think he should, because of the fact that this is actually an Archer Rally March account. So, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, Subutai, and Ragnar Prime all kind of have enough shards to basically unlock them. Assuming that's actually part of where he would get that extra 200 that he mentioned will get from. Now, he does have some Zenith the power skin. One of them is Archer Defense, 15%. Very nice. Star Palace. And then he does have one for Infantry, 10% health, Atlantis, which was probably the best Infantry city skin when I first started the game. But then again, that was a long, long time ago. More than 3 years ago now. So, this is a little bit outdated. But then again, he does have 10% health skin, which is good to know. Now, starting from Archer, so he does have almost full iconic 5 tier weapon, all talented except for Horn. Now, the Horn has iconic 2, which is good, but then again, for like, you know, the Kingdom's main rally, main garrison, I do think that iconic 5 or 4 at least is very good for that. He does have very good armament too. Hunter is nice. Focus fire is okay. Fit, which will give you 3.5% extra health. Siege work, I forgot what this was, but I think this was pretty beneficial too. So overall, very, very strong set. Over 30% of raw stats here on top of the inscription, which does provide 3.5% extra. Which is all good and stuff. The only thing that he's missing right now is legendary inscription, which I understand is very hard to kind of come by one of those unless you actually fill out all your mileages, the ones that you're seeing right here. So, but then again, very powerful, very strong formation, as well as equipments that he has right now. He does have cavalry set, cavalry number 1, which looks really good on its own too. He does have full best cav set ever that could be actually currently crafted at this moment. He doesn't have horn or ring critted, but it's okay. He's using this mainly for the field. He does have a lot of armament inscriptions, and all of them I think are pretty decent, right? I think Militant gives you all damage. Infamy gives you 3.5% attack. I forgot what Siege Ward does. But then again, I think that was beneficial. War Hunger, I think, also gives you all damage. So overall, very strong set. Lacking a little bit of stats, but then again, you can get those from the inscriptions as well as the fact that 3.1% march speed is very good on cavalry, I think. So overall, very strong West set that he has for cavalry. Now, his infantry number 1, which is the Yucha, and he does have arch formation running. And unfortunately, the only legendary inscription that he has is destructive. I personally don't recommend having destructive just because of the fact that it's going to use up a lot of your rage. Sentries, I think, is really good. I forgot what it was doing, but I remember it just being really good. Elite gives you all damage. I think War Hunger also might give you all damage. Overall, very strong set. He does have KVK helmet, talented, but he doesn't have a weapon, infantry weapon for KVK, but instead he has a set crit weapon, which is good. He does have Hook Cloak. He does have Eternal Night. He does have set glove, but shields boost, which is all fine. This is basically for fielding anyway, so I think it's not a terrible investment either way. So it's not bad at all. He does have the normal damage buff thing accessory, and then he does have a ring. So I must say it's a pretty good set that he has rocking right now for his infantry number 1. Now let's go on and move on to infantry number 2. He does have a little bit of missing things here. He's rocking 1, 2, 3 piece bonus for infantry, which I think is actually better because what I'm about to suggest is actually move this set weapon over to this one eventually so that he can have 2 KVK pieces, and then this one can have 4 piece bonus for infantry set again, which is really good. Not that many crits, but all of them iconic. Couple crits on the helmet and the set infantry boots, which is nice. And he does have that blue shield, which is, I think, good. Blue shield is really good. Guan Yu does AoE silence. I think he still will be able to do his job with that. He does have a lot of inscriptions, which are really good. 0.7% all damage is the only thing that I'm kind of mad about. But then again, assertive does give you that all damage that you're missing from this. Shielded gives you 3.5%. Furious, I think, also is really good. I forgot what it did. But overall, pretty darn good. Alexander Nevsky, this is cavalry number 2. The one thing that I did notice was none of them are talented, but then again, this leadership pens. Now, usually for cavalry, you don't really run leadership pens just because of the fact that Asher the Dawn is just much better. But then again, for him in particular for this set, it all makes sense because he actually has a leadership equipment built later down, which I'll go over in a couple of slides. So he can actually transfer this very equipment, this leadership pants right here, actually to the leadership pants on the leadership set. So this can be actually replaced with Asher the Dawn. So not bad at all. So this is his current wedge formation. A lot of stats, despite the fact that he's missing at least 2 of the pieces, like 2 of the stat slots, right? He has 1.6% infantry attack and 3.3% infantry defense. That means that attack and defense is missing 1 of each, and it still looks pretty good, right? Robust and armor, they're really good either way. All very, very powerful. Robust gives you 3.5% health. Armor gives you 3.5% defense, so all really good. 9-shot doesn't really help, but it doesn't really matter. I think he's doing it for the stats. Overall, pretty strong cavalry number 2, I must say. This is his archer number 2. Robust, armored, really good. His wedge formation is basically focused very much on giving him the maximum stats. Robust and hardy both just combined will give you 7% health right away, and then 3.5% extra defense for armored. Spiked will give you, I think, 3.5% attack. So overall, you can say this is like 20.1%, 28.1% plus 14%, right? Very, very stat heavy, and it makes sense because it's a second archer set, and archers getting a lot of health armor is all very valuable. He is rocking a couple of the epic set. I'm assuming this is where he meant when he was saying to me that like, hey, like I need some coaching on equipment because I'm running 5 iconic 5 on my main archer merch and stuff. This is work in progress, but for work in progress, this is very, very strong set either way. All he needs to do is just replace those that he's missing with Dragon Breast set, and then he'll be completely really good. So overall, very strong set overall. And he also does have a leadership set focused heavily on infantry, right? He does have Echelon, which is good. Because I think Echelon, whatever he has set up, I think he can actually use Echelon for really good. He basically does rock a lot of different infantry stats except for the weapon here, which is the cavalry weapon, 15%. Yeah, this weapon I don't recommend, but I get it. He still doesn't, he's working on other stuff, so he doesn't have any materials to craft a separate weapon for Trajan. I would actually recommend that you replace that with basically, what's this called? The blue shield, if possible, but that is, I think, okay for now. Vitality showed it all really good stats, and this is troop health, and then troop defense. So I think that will be really helpful for his leadership set. I would say put like majority of his troops should be infantry, and then kind of mix cavalry and archer here and there to give it kind of like a maximum stuff. But then again, overall, pretty strong set. For leadership, not a lot of people actually has the luxury of running echelon set. He does, and I think it's gonna be really helpful for him. So this is a 7 March equipment just in an overall view. And then what I actually recommended for him is just first work on Iconic 4 minimum or Iconic 5ing the horn on the set 1. Again, his set is basically complete except for that horn iconic, right? But Iconic 4 on that horn will give you the rally garrison damage, right? So, and you really don't want to miss out on that if you're the king of the server, if you're actually working for the most efficient way possible for trading for the whole kingdom, so that your people who are actually reinforcing you doesn't really, you know, get inefficient reports, even though they're sending you the hard earned troops, right? Same reason why I'm running Arch instead of Delta, because it does perform marginally better. But then again, I don't care. It is the kingdom's resources efficiency that I'm talking about. So I'm actually running Arch for my Attila Subutai. Same with you. You should worry about getting that iconic 4 or 5 as the king and the rally lead of this particular kingdom, right? So that's what I recommend. At least Iconic 4, because that's all damage is something that you're missing out a lot on, right? Horn for leadership then is my suggestion. And then craft a set infantry weapon for leadership. This can be leadership weapon, but then again, I think set infantry weapon does make more sense given what you have. And then you can actually optionally craft a drum and then put it in place of a web. You can dismantle web if you want, but that's just an optional thing that I would recommend. And then Asher the Dawn. Craft the Asher the Dawn for cavalry number 2 right here. And then move this over to your infantry number, the leadership gear, so that you have the 2-piece leadership bonus for your leadership pants and boots, right? That makes total sense. In my opinion, I think that's probably the best kind of route to go about it. And then archer number 2 helmet and pants, so that you're actually not running epic gears eventually. And then if you craft the KVK weapon for infantry number 1 and move over the set weapon from infantry number 2 to infantry number 1 to infantry number 2, then this set right here will actually get 4-piece bonus, and then this would actually be complete, almost the most optimal infantry set that you can actually craft in Rise of Kingdoms. So in short, it basically looks like this. Again, craft the iconic iconic 5ing the horn on the main archer is number 1, and then craft the horn for leadership, and then you can actually craft the weapon for the infantry set weapon for leadership. Sorry, I got mixed up in my head. But yeah, you can craft the infantry set weapon for your leadership march, and then craft the horn because you're at drum, because you're missing drum. But this is optional. Again, Morris's web is not really the most optimal accessory for you to have at this moment. But yeah, and drum, having one drum will really benefit the rest of the crew a lot. So that's why I'm suggesting that you actually craft a drum there. And then you can craft Asher the Dawn and then move over the leadership pants. So that's what this means. There's 2 different 5s, right? If you craft Asher the Dawn, you can actually move over the infantry pants to over here. So that's why there's 2 5s. And then 6, both of either or of the one that you want to actually start working on, of the Dragon Breast set pieces for your archer number 2. this is essentially going to be really good because of the fact that you're going to be able to actually rock your 15% defense Zenith of Power skin. And then if you craft your KVK weapon for your infantry number 1 and then transfer over that credit infantry set weapon to your second infantry set, this set will be complete and then this set will be complete. So everyone on your marches will be very happy in terms of equipment sets. In terms of armament priority, I would say the save up the conversion stones to swish infantry number 1 to pincer. You already have arch running, and you have destructive running. Again, destructive is not really that powerful, but then again, if you convert that exact same armament over to pincer and then that becomes toppler, that will be a game breaking for you and your account. For infantry number 1, right? So I think it will be a good idea for you to actually save a conversion stone so you can switch infantry number 1 to pincer. At this stage, I think it will only cost you 13 because it only costs you 1 for 1, even if you actually transfer one that does have inscription, as well as a legendary inscription, which will cost you 10. But then again, the rest of them will actually just cost you 1, so it'll be okay. Special inscriptions from the KVK shop. This is the scroll slot. Special inscriptions, if you want to inscribe any of them, I would say Hunter for Archer number 2 is probably your next priority. I know that it does have Robust in there, but then again, you do have Zenith of Power rocking, so I think it's not a bad idea for you to actually run Archer number 2 as your priority for armament. And then cab number 2, and then infantry number 2. If you're actually, because your infantry number 2 is running wedge, right? Yeah, there you go. So if you're running infantry number 2 as wedge, having hunter is going to be helpful. The reason why I was like, was because I was like, is that running on arch or not? I forgot. But yeah. Getting hunter for those 3 will be your main priority. And then if you have leftover autarch testimony, you can actually run influencer leader, which is the scroll slot legendary armament for echelon for your leadership march. This gives you a lot of rage generation as well as attack buff for people around you. So I think it would actually make sense for you to actually do that, given that you already have echelon formation kind of built in on top of having 2 different leadership commanders, which are Trojan and Philip. Now, for banner, I would say your number 1 priority will be actually giving it to Archer number 1 just because you're rallying garrison with it. There's really no debate beyond that. I think that's just basically the best way to go about it. And then for the future, again, prepare for Delta because Delta could become the meta in the future unless they release a very bad combo commander next cavalry cycle. But then again, that's very unlikely. So having Arthur paired with that Delta formation commander with that next combo cavalry commander will actually boost the Delta formation. So work on Delta for the future parts, but then again, for the time being, this is what I'll recommend. Also, he does have the current 7 March lineup that he sent me. For his number 1 set, he's gonna actually run. He's been running Zhuge Liang Herman Prime, which is good. Nevsky Joan Prime, Ho William, and Liu Che Philip. I'm assuming that his Arthur is not maxed out. So I'm going to assume that he doesn't have Arthur 100% built in, right? Because if he did, he should have been using it with Ho or even Nevsky, right? So that's just my guess. And then he has Guan Yu Scipio Prime, and then Asher Vanapal Henry. Okay, so Asher Vanapal Henry is a very good rally commander pairing. But then again, I'm not too sure if they'll be doing really good on the field. But I wouldn't really recommend putting more sculptures into currently available archer field commanders like Shizar. So I'll just actually hold on to that. And then he's running Trojan and Alex. So immediately, given that you have 800 gold has already saved up, you can actually run Bai Chu Luce by maxing Bai Chu, right? So that would actually free up your Philip from Luce that you can actually put right next to Trajan. Now, all of a sudden, you have the best leadership march that you can possibly have as your 7th march, on top of having the most relevant infantry or most overpowered infantry march in the game right now so far, by Chu Luce. Now, eventually, I would recommend that you actually work towards your Arthur and then make Arthur be paired with Ho so that you can run Ho Arthur. But when you see the next Archer commander and you haven't actually built your Arthur to the fullest, but then again, that next Archer commander does seem pretty overpowered. Now, this is all speculation that we don't know anything about the next Archer commander, whether or not that commander is going to be leadership commander or even like healing commander, true damage commander. But word on the street is that it's going to the next Archer commander will be the Wedge commander, just because of the fact that in the developers note that developers actually released a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago said that they're thinking about releasing new wedge formation as well as delta formation and arch formation, right? Like skill damage, combo damage, and smite damage is the direction that they're going, right? So with that said, I'm assuming the next archer commander will be a massive skill damage dealing archer commander. So that's why, just wait until you have enough sculptures for you to actually max Arthur. If you reach that point before next Archer is released, go ahead and invest in Arthur. But then again, if you don't, you can actually wait for the next Archer commander release and then make a decision on whether or not you should invest in Arthur or the next Archer commander. So that's basically what I would recommend. So that way, you have Zugelian Herman, which is the best Archer March in the game right now. Nevsky Joan is okay. Faux Arthur is probably the best cavalry commander pairing that you can have in the game right now. Nevsky Joan is the second best probably that you can have right now, unless you have Belisarius Prime built in. But then again, I think Belisarius Prime is a little bit of a waste of sculptures at this point if you're actually thinking about investing in right now. Bai Chi Lu Chen, number 1 pairing that you can actually have. Guan Yu Scipio Prime, arguably compatible with basically Ragnar Prime level of utility because of how much he does with AoE silence for your 7 March lineup. So this is really good. Asher Vanapal with Henry is fine. Whatever the new commander, you can actually work around with your Zhuge Liang with the new commander. Whether or not the next commander will be actually paired with Zhuge Liang or Asher Vanapal, but then again, working on that would actually give you the most up-to-date Archer Commander pairing. And then running Trajan and Philip is going to actually be really, really buffing the performance of rest of your crew, especially given the fact that you're running echelon formation to buff not only what he does, but also what Philip does too, right? So Trajan and Philip will be buffing the heck out of your entire 7 March murder ball. So that's what I would recommend. So that's pretty much it for whatever I have for you today, Buzzwole. I hope this was really helpful for you. I hope I actually captured everything that you were actually requesting. If you didn't, feel free to reach out to me on the Discord. You're already added to the Discord. You're a trusted member on the community. So feel free to ask any questions if you have any. And if you want your own version of Commander or account coaching series, please feel free to join the Discord from the link down below and ask me. Just direct message me and then, hey, like I saw the account coaching series that you did for a bunch of different people. And then I would really love to actually get my account taken a look at, and then, just at least provide direction on which that I can provide from, a person who spent last 1100 days almost playing this game, right? But I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this was entertaining for the rest of you and informational for the rest of you. If you guys did find this video helpful, please go ahead and drop a thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already done so, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll see you all on the next video. Bye bye. Peace.